Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 5th of May 2024. Today's video about anti-Semitic law in America. Um, the name of the video is The Battle of Existence. And let's look at this law. This law externally sounds very good, anti-Semitic law, because to protect the Jewish people. The Jewish people all over the world, about 12 million people, is not a whole lot. And we know that during World War II, a person like a crazy person like Hitler can easily kill them all. So it sounds good on the surface to have anti-Semitic law to protect this minority. This is very dangerous, extremely dangerous. I'm going to explain why. Uh, about a year ago, in Sweden, there was a young man. I spoke about him. He made a video. I'm sorry. He burned the holy book of the Muslim, which is called Quran. This man, his name was. He's still in Sweden. His name is Solwan, and he and his family have seen uh, very bad treatment of the Muslims in this area, and therefore, in a way, he was bitter, so he burned he stepped on the Quran with his shoes, and then he burned the book. I made a video and I said I'm not really, although this book, I mean, for me is nothing, but nonetheless, I don't believe burning a book is a solution for anything. Excuse me. It's better if he makes a video, like a YouTube channel, and speak about the danger of this ideology instead of burning the book. Anyway, that he chose to do that, and that is his freedom. He has the right to do that. He bought the book, or even if the book was given to him for free, it's his book. He can do whatever he wants with it. Now, what does that have to do with the Congress? Now, Republican as well as Democrat in the United States kind of united to protect the Semite people, the Jews. And it sounds good, but it doesn't really. And let's continue. This young man, after he tried, after he burned the Quran, the Muslim book, Sweden afterwards is now studying and considering to make a law similar to that that's in Egypt and in Morocco. What is this law? When Egypt was colonized by the British and Morocco, Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia were colonized by France, that when you have a British man who is most likely Christian, and the same with the French, most likely Christian or Catholic, coming to Egypt or to Morocco, people talk together, and sometimes their religion. Some missionaries actually came from these countries to spread their faith, and therefore they studied Quran before they came, and they can show where this book is so weak and it can fall apart. So many people started to doubt this book and started to leave. So these countries, uh, they made a law. In Egypt, it was called Israel Adyan, meaning is like don't defame religion, no defamation of a religion. And religion here, it actually means Islam. Because we know many people, they curse Jesus, they make fun of him, they mock him. And the same with the Jews. Many people mock Moses. Some people say he didn't even exist, and so on and so forth. You don't see that the Christian are upset, or the Jew, they might be upset, and the Jews, they might be upset. However, they don't come out and demonstrate and burn and go crazy. And yet, neither the Jews nor the Christian called for uh, sealing the mouth of the people who criticize this religion. Leave them alone. They have the right to speak. They have the right to criticize. They even have the right to mock and curse uh, other religions. So if a Christian person, a Christian man, hears me cursing his religion, he might be upset, but he wouldn't do anything. And the same with the Jews. Why? Because they believe you have the right to speak. You have this is your freedom. Nobody can take it away from you. So this is what happened in Sweden after this young man burned the Muslim book Quran. Sweden now, and that's very important to know. Many politicians can be bought in Europe, everywhere, in America. Recently, one politician from New Jersey was accused taking bribes from Egypt. Politicians are not saints, okay? You can buy them. Many of them are bought. And many of the Congress, the United States Congress, are bought. So they will do the bidding of enemy countries. They receive the price. So now when you see that the American Congress considering defending the Semite people, it sounds good. But again, it's the same in Sweden. They want to defend the Islamic religion. That means automatically they will seal your mouth. Shut up. Don't say anything about our religion. Don't say that the Prophet raped a woman. Don't say that the Prophet married a 9 years old girl. Don't say he was a pedophile. Don't say that. And if you do, we have the law. You go to prison. And that's the danger. If Sweden consider making that law, Sweden will suffer. Europe will suffer. Why? Because this minority now in Sweden called Muslim, they will seal your mouth. You will lose your First Amendment. You will lose freedom, your freedom to speak. You will lose it. So when they say, "Oh, we're going to make a law because that many people demonstrated and it was terrible," many people came out and there was loss of public and private properties. So we're going to make a law not to offend any religion. That means you lost your freedom to speak, to express your mind, to say what you think. You lost that freedom. You lose this freedom, you lose everything, especially the authority to speak your mind. If you cannot, the dictator or the Islamic dictators already took over. And the same thing is starting to happen in America. Many people in the Congress are for this idea. Republicans as well as Democrats, they accept that because of the nonsense that it's taking place now, in universities, many young people are demonstrating, and those who are serious about study, they cannot go to study. They prevent them from studying. Uh, and it's terrible. It's stopping the country, and people are divided now. Now, if the United States adopt this idea that we should respect religions. Yeah, I'm not saying insult religions or religion. Well, we have the right to speak if that religion is corrupt, if it is bad, if it is if it's destructive. We should speak. So to prevent us from talking, the terrorist already won. So even though externally, on the surface, it looks like, oh yeah, we're protecting the minority, the Jews, because the Jewish students, some of them got beaten, one person was stabbed in the eye, he lost his eye. So, okay, we're going to protect. But when you do that, the most will the most people gain benefit from that is not really the Jewish people. It is Muslims. That is their tactic. Always find a way to seal the mouth. Okay. And they come in a very sweet way or innocent way, suggesting a law like that for to a politician who is both. Yeah, we should protect the Jews because they are a minority. But you protect the Jews also. Why not the Muslim? They are also minority in America and in many countries. And then soon they will seal the mouth of everyone as it is in their countries, in the Islamic countries. So you have now some people in these universities calling from the river to the sea, Israel be, I'm sorry, Palestine will be free. What does that really mean? This chant, if you look at it carefully, it's extremely dangerous. That means from the river east all the way to the Jordan River, all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. This where Palestine exists, the land of Palestine, this where the Jews as well as Palestinians have existed for thousands of years. But when you say it's from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, it means get me Hitler's idea quickly to get rid of all these Jews, exterminate them all, get rid of them all, slaughter them all, burn them all, as they did on October the 7th, 2023, kill them all, and then Israel, Palestine will be liberated, and the holy Muslim Palestinians will go there and live. Now Palestine is free. That what this chant means. Okay. And unfortunately, many young people, I guess they are dumb. This is the only way I could say. I'm sorry, but they don't know the history and they don't know what Islam is and what Islam did and what Islam stands for and what freedom really means. And if they lose their freedom, if they disagree with the other side one day in the future, they will be put to death. And they are just going out demonstrating, unfortunately, not knowing the consequence or what will happen to them or to others later on. So this is a very sticky situation, and when you see that whether it's the Swedish parliament considering sealing the mouth of people, or the American Congress considering, this is, you're really in a very dangerous water now. And I don't know, are these people dumb? You ask yourself this question. Do you think the people in the Congress don't know the history of this region? They don't know really what does that mean. I'm not sure. I doubt that very much. I doubt that very much. We come here to the point that Barack Obama, when he was president, he tried so hard to get rid of the Second Amendment in the United States. And he was called back then the best salesman of guns because he wanted to take the guns from gun owners, law abiding people in America who own guns for protection, for self defense. Let's say a person who is 70, 80 years old, living in his home, he and his wife, and somebody break into his house. This man cannot physically fight. Physically, he is not very strong. He may have been in the military and he could have been fit when he was young. But how would this person fight an invader who broke the house, broke the door, and walked into his house? How? Call the police. By the time the police comes, he's already dead. His wife is already dead. What about young people? A girl, student, she's going to college, sharing an apartment by herself. What if somebody breaks in? The best thing to stop that criminal is a gun. So to take away guns from people, when Obama suggested taking away guns from people, people went and bought more guns during Obama's administration because they were worried that he might succeed. So they wanted to have guns. They were not willing to give up their guns. And then they came to the realization because America differ from the rest of the world. You have the NRA, you have the gun owners of America. These are very powerful entities that speaks against that. And the American people, they will not give up their guns. So they found out that it's very difficult to attack the Second Amendment. They used and still doing any violence that it happens. Let's say a person is stabbed with a knife and he died. They would say a violence happened in this place and the person was stabbed. But when somebody, crazy person, steals a gun, a criminal steals a gun and goes and kills somebody, they say gun violence. They don't tell you stabbing violence or knife violence or baseball violence because some people kill with baseball. Baseball violence, only violence has to be associated with the gun. So when you hear, oh, gun violence, let's get rid of guns. They don't know that these guns oftentimes save lives. When a person see a criminal doing something to an elderly or doing something to an innocent person, and the person will pull his gun and tell him, leave him alone, or else, or he shoots him right away to protect the other, the elderly person or something like that. No, they always want villainized guns. Why? Because they won't take that power from the hands of people so they can control them. And they found out that in America it's very hard to take the guns out of the hand of law abiding citizens. So what they do now, they are actually going to the First Amendment first. Leave the guns now. It's very difficult to take the guns away from people. So I tell you what, let's attack the First Amendment first. Let's seal the mouth of people. And then you have only one side talking all the time to change the mind of people. After that, it's a dictatorship. After that, you lost everything. This is, I see that because I know what happened in Islamic countries. I know how it was in Egypt. I'm trying, I hope this can shed light on what's happening and people can wake up. Thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you.